All right, let's dive into some of the most bizarre and, frankly, terrifying sounds ever captured from the natural world. These are actual recordings that reveal a planet that is way stranger and more powerful than you could ever imagine.
You know, for our ancestors, hearing wasn't just a sense, it was survival. Long before you could see the danger, you could often hear it coming. A tiny snap in the undergrowth, the distant rumble of an avalanche. Sound was our original danger detector, and that instinct is still hardwired right into our DNA.
And that's where things get really interesting. Today, our instruments are picking up noises from the deepest parts of the ocean and the very heart of volcanoes that are just so alien they totally challenge our understanding of the world. So let's get into these acoustic mysteries.
We're going to start our journey in the one place on Earth we've actually explored less than the surface of the moon, the deep ocean. We're talking immense pressure, total darkness, and some very strange noises. So picture this. It's the summer of '97. Deep-sea hydrophones from NOAA, that's the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, picked up, well, something. They ended up calling it the Bloop. It was this ultra-low frequency sound, and it had the signature of a living creature, but it was just impossibly loud.
To give you some perspective here, this sound was picked up by sensors that were over 5,000 kilometers apart. I mean, that's like a creature in London making a noise so loud it could be heard clearly in New York. There is nothing we know of, no animal that has the biological ability to do that.
For years, this mystery just fueled our collective imagination, right? Was it some kind of colossal squid, a totally unknown leviathan hiding in the depths? But then, in the 2010s, scientists landed on a different, though, let's be honest, equally awesome explanation. The sound profile was a perfect match for a massive iceberg breaking off a glacier. They called it an icequake, a sound made by geology, not biology.
But here's the thing. While the Bloop mystery might be solved, so many others aren't. For example, there's the Upsweep. It's been recorded every single year since 1991, this series of long, upward-sweeping sounds that get loudest in the spring and fall. We think it's probably volcanic, but we just don't know for sure. The ocean floor is still singing songs we just don't understand yet.
So from the deep sea, let's come back to the surface and turn to the incredible forces that are shaping our planet. Because the ground beneath our feet, yeah, it is not nearly as silent as you might think.
We tend to think of glaciers as these silent, slow-moving giants, but they are incredibly loud. As they move, they make these deep, thundering groans and these sudden explosive cracks. Researchers who live in places like Antarctica and Greenland, they live with this constant, unsettling soundtrack, a powerful reminder that the very ground they're standing on is alive and always in motion. Now here's something wild. Some of the Earth's most powerful sounds are ones we can't even hear. It's called infrasound. The frequency is so low, it's really more of a feeling, like a pressure in your chest or a vibration you feel in your bones. It's the frequency of earthquakes, avalanches, and most terrifyingly, volcanoes. Our bodies can actually perceive these vibrations, and sometimes that triggers a fight or flight response without us even knowing why, creating this deep sense of unease. So scientists can take these inaudible vibrations and speed them up into a range we can actually hear. And the result? It is literally the sound of the planet itself growling. Recordings from volcanoes, like Mount Erebus in Antarctica, they sound like these monstrous bellows coming from deep within the Earth. It's the raw, untamed power of geology made audible. Okay, for our last category, let's look at sounds from the animal kingdom. But these aren't your typical chirps and roars. No, these are sounds that are scary because they sound like they shouldn't be natural at all.
Just imagine you're a submarine operator during the Cold War and you start hearing this. A repetitive, mechanical-sounding quack just echoing through the Southern Ocean. It was so weird it got nicknamed the bioduck, and for 50 years, nobody had a clue what it was.
So what did they think it was? The theories were all over the place, from some kind of top-secret military tech to a new geophysical phenomenon. The sound was just too regular, too artificial to be coming from a living thing. Or so everyone thought.
And the answer just goes to show you how absolutely strange nature can be. The source was the Antarctic minke whale. Yes, a whale. This living, breathing creature was producing one of the most mechanical-sounding noises in the entire ocean. It's a perfect example of the uncanny valley, where something natural sounds so artificial it just becomes deeply unsettling.
And it's not just mechanical sounds that are so unsettling. Sometimes it's the complete opposite. The call of the common loon, for example, sounds so much like a person just wailing in sorrow that it's become the stuff of folklore and horror movies. It's this chilling mimicry of human grief that just hits a little too close to home. Okay, so we've heard voices from the deep, the groans of the earth, and these uncanny cries from the wild. What's the thread that connects all of them?
What is it about these recordings that really gets under our skin? It's more than just a loud noise or a strange pitch. I think it all really boils down to a few core reasons.
First, these sounds reveal natural forces that just completely dwarf us, like the continental scale of an icequake. Second, they prove that our own senses can be totally fooled, just like what happened with the bioduck. And finally, they're like audio postcards from the great unknown, reminding us how much of our own planet is still a complete and total mystery.
Ultimately, these recordings force us to confront a really profound truth. We don't live on a silent, passive planet. It is a world humming with immense energy, and it's filled with voices that we're only just beginning to decipher. And listening to them is a humbling and sometimes, a terrifying reminder of our tiny place in it all.